What if a person wants to donate so badly for the sake of Kiruv and helping the Rav's organization? Does that mean that I don't have the merit to do Kiruv? How can I get merits? Well, if somebody wants to donate to the organization, everyone can donate something. Everyone could donate something. I don't believe that there's a single person here that's watching my lecture now or tomorrow or next year that cannot donate to the organization. And if you tell me you can't, you're a liar. Why? Not saying you specifically, anyone that says no. Why? Because I have people that live in Africa. I have people that live in India. In all types of places where they literally live in a third world country, or at least their area is third world. But you'll still see, from time to time, on Facebook and on YouTube, and of course, you're not going to see what happens when they send it to me on other ways, like PayPal and on the website, but you'll see publicly that they'll donate $5, $4, $10. And guess what? I value those donations no less than if somebody sent me 10,000 or 100,000 tomorrow. Why? Because I know those people, they're doing the best they can. They don't have 10,000 in the bank and they're only donating $10. They have, I don't know, maybe $50 in the bank, and they're donating $5. So if they can donate, certainly everyone that can afford the internet, needless to say a smartphone, can also donate. How much you can donate is a different story. But many times I see that there are people that they believe they can't donate because they want to donate a lot. And since they can't donate a lot, they just decide, might as well not donate at all. This is a advice that you're from the Satan. Satan is telling you if you can't donate a lot, don't donate at all. A person has to do the best they can. The best they can. If you're donating 10% of your income, whether your income is $1,000 or $10,000, it's still 10%. It's still 10%. And guess what? It's counted as 10% in the eyes of KADOSH Baruch Hu. But if a person is donating 1% or 0.5% or 0.1%, then of course Hashem also sees that. Point is that it's all based on how much a person can actually do. Now, one thing I would suggest and actually request from any of you that are not able to afford, larger amounts of money of, let's say, $50 or more at a time, and you could only afford, let's say, $5 or $10 at a time, my recommendation to you is to donate, instead of donating, let's say, every week, $5 or $10, or in some cases I see some people donating $3, and two, is to donate every couple of weeks or every month, but a larger sum, where instead of donating every time, doing it once a month. Why? Because the fees from the merchant banks, all of them, whether it's PayPal or Flipcards or it's everyone, all of them, the transaction fees have a minimum requirement, number one, and number two, it's also operational costs for us. When we have bookkeepers and employees that have to put all of this stuff into a system, so it takes time. So whether it's a transaction of $10,000 or $10, it takes just as much time. So if you really are truly looking to help us, it's better for you to make less transactions with more money. Meaning, instead of $5 4 times a month, donate $20 1 time a month. That's something that could certainly help. But either way, back to the point at hand, which is donation. Somebody wants to donate. If they truly want to donate, they'll find a way. They'll find a way. Now, if somebody is stretched literally to the moon, they're living in debt, they can barely afford rent, they can barely afford, getting Shabbat together, and they don't have to donate, but they really, really want to donate, they can still donate. How? Simple. Number one, they have friends, they have family, they have colleagues, they have neighbors, they have a community. Go to those people and ask them to donate to our organization. And guess what? They will appreciate it. Why? Because everyone wants to donate to a good place. So if you tell them, listen, this is a good place, I know the place, they do good things, guess what? people are always looking for good places. And usually, you get more donations from those types of people than you get even from the person that donated themselves. Why? Because those people, they donate to a bunch of places, but they don't really know who's good. But if you're vouching for a place, it's a good place, that's already going to help them. And all of the money that they donate goes to your account also, your spiritual account also. In fact, you even get a bigger reward than they do. So if you truly want to help us, or anyone else out there, go and collect money for them. Go and get people to donate. Even help them with the donation, help them, whatever it is. Process the donation online, write a check, whatever it is. Go out there and collect the money. And plenty of people do it in all communities, Jews and non-Jews, and it's not so difficult. Now, if you say, no, but I'm embarrassed, okay, so you're not really as motivated as you thought you were. You're motivated if you had it, if it was convenient for you. Now, the other thing that a person can do is if they don't have money to donate and they don't have the courage or the ability to get from other people, or they simply live in a desert and they don't have any friends, they don't have any family, they don't have any neighbors, they don't have any community. Their only community is a bunch of scorpions and snakes. And they live in the middle of the world by themselves, but they want to help. Then they need to get some of the lectures that we have and share it with people. If they live in a community with people, not in a desert, they can get some of the material, the Kiruv cards, like this. Get these Kiruv cards, especially right now. Next week we're starting Shovavim. Get these Kiruv cards for Tikkun Brit cards. This is the auspicious time, starts next week for doing Tikkun Brit. And give them out in the community. You can get them from our Kiruv store for free. Go to kiruvstore.org and you get these cards for free. Go give them out to people. Put them in the mailbox, put them in their hand, put them in the Jewish restaurants, put them wherever you can put them. Put them everywhere, in as many places as possible. And at the very least, you're using your time to do it. But if you say, I don't have any money, I don't know anybody, or I don't want to talk to anybody, and I also don't want to give anything out, then the truth is that you really don't want to give. Unless the giving is with your conditions, and that's not really desired to give. So again, I'm not talking to anyone specific who wants to give, who doesn't want to give. I'm telling you guys that all of these different things are things that are, I say to people all the time when they ask the same type of question, whether it's privately or otherwise, is that there is always a way to help us. There's always a way to help us. There are even some people that, that help us with their skills. They have technological skills, so they help us with their technological skills, either making videos, making posters, helping with different things. So some people volunteer with subtitles, different things. Other people we have, help us with other skills that they have. Whatever the way they can, they do. Point is that there's always a way to give. If you really want to give, there's a way to give. If you're not giving, it's because you don't want to give. Now, one thing I will say is that, since we're already mentioning all of this, is that there are some of you that are in touch with me more often than others. Some of you watch my lectures and maybe once or twice a year send a question. Others send a question at least once or twice a day. Now, you have a much bigger responsibility to give and to help us than others. Why? You benefit more. You benefit more. Simple. If you're watching a lecture once a year versus someone that's watching every lecture, obviously the one that's watching every lecture benefits more. If you're watching every lecture and you only ask one question a year versus one that's watching every lecture and will ask questions every day, obviously the latter has a bigger responsibility to give. And KADOSH Baruch Hu hates people that are ungrateful. And one thing that I have to say is that there have been times where people are so spiritually stupid that they literally ask me a question about their donations to other places. Where they'll tell me, listen, Rabbi, I just donated $2,000 to the local Chabad. Do you think it was a good donation? And again, if this person was giving something of the same or more to us, whatever he wants to donate there, by all means. I don't think it's an appropriate question to ask a different organization, but nonetheless, It's no problem. But when a person doesn't donate a penny to you, even though calls you their rabbi, says you're the best, you changed my life, but all of their donations goes to their local synagogue, this is a person that's spiritually stupid. You have to cry for them. I'm almost considered fasting for them because they're in such a bad condition. So again, make sure when you guys are watching the lectures that you guys really listen and apply some of these things to your life and really evaluate yourselves. Where do I stand? Am I really, someone that can benefit from this, to apply this to my life? Am I good? Everybody has to apply this. When I talk and I teach, I also talk to myself. I evaluate myself. I know that I have a lot of work to do. Now, it may not be the same level of work as someone that's new needs to do. That I already did, Baruch Hashem. But I myself also have a lot of work to do. Everyone does. So a person needs to know that KADOSH Baruch Hu knows what's in your heart. He knows what's in your mind. That's one of our 13 principles of faith. So if you are a grateful person, then Hashem knows it, because you are practicing gratitude. If you are an ungrateful person, Hashem also knows that. Hashem also knows that because you're practicing lack of gratitude. And if a person is really ungrateful, but pretends to be grateful, but just says they can't really act on the gratitude, then you should know you're only fooling yourself. You're maybe fooling the different people around you, but HaKadosh Baruch Hu still knows the truth. So every person that really wants to give can find a way to give. How much you should give, it depends what kind of eternity you want to have. If you want to have heaven, but like a little homeless heaven, like a little shack in heaven, just pretty much as long as you're not in Gehenom, then help as little as possible. Rely on your mitzvot to get you to heaven. If you want to have a very big heaven, then help as much as possible. How much is as much as possible? Literally as much as possible. As much as possible. If you're able to help every day, help every day. If you're able to help, every minute, help every minute. Whatever you can do. And I can assure you, no one has ever lost as a result of publicizing HaKadosh Baruch Hu's name, is Torah, and I'm living proof of it. Baruch Hashem, we merited to have countless students do tshuva over the years, and the investors behind us that have helped us. Those people have no idea how profitable their portfolio is. And that's why I tell everybody to invest as much as possible, as much as they can.